Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another night of Tuesday night's games, MotherShip. Uh, we ended last week with a bit of a tense situation with everyone's stress level rising, and our teamster with an itchy trigger finger standing off against Max Planck, the senior officer. Uh, Mr. Anderson, the somewhat tense and scared scientist, and JO3 standing directly over the Teamster, who managed to settle the nerves of the young man as he may have smelled something herbaceous floating from the pillow sacks, the pillowcases hung about the android's belt. After some time for relaxation, maybe a cigarette or two among the crew, Cornelius agreed to move on to see what he could possibly fix in the terraforming station. And the crew made its way back to the garage, where Cornelius sees the remains of an explosive battle that left bodies and crabs blown everywhere. A man lies shot through the head, lying in the middle of the tarmac on the garage floor. It's already been observed that the one APC in the garage will require much time to fix, wheels off. But the other, which our scientist found occupied by the man lying dead on the tarmac, is fully operational. It is a troll sized APC, enough to easily carry the uh, the four of you. Uh, and it has a GMG machine gun, a general purpose machine GPMG, general purpose machine gun mounted forward facing on the vehicle. As you recall, this APC is in the garage, and the garage door has been barricaded on the inside, apparently trying to keep out whatever is outside. Max Planck, you're the senior officer on deck, command mission. Maybe not the chief scientific officer, but you certainly hold rank here. What do you want to do?
Cornelius, you got a hold of yourself
Mm,
now?
You gotta stay away from me. I'm release a good amount of distance between you.
Need your head in the game. Can't have
Well,
you
I
going
need you to
crazy
keep your
on
distance
us.
from. I'm like typing this on the typeboard on my pad just so this makes sense. I need you to keep a good distance from me. I'm not. Oh, you touching my fucking helmet again. I don't want to be contaminated with the shit you got.
You got worse things to fear than me. You've seen what I've seen.
I'm clutching my gun and I'm typing furiously. Will stay away from me, and I'm like hitting that apostrophe mark like a bunch of times.
How's your driving
Okay.
skills? Can you drive that APC?
Talking to you still?
Yep.
Well, that's a speed skill, I would guess. And let me look at that real quickly.
Piloting is a skill too.
You type this. I'm guessing like I give like a little thumbs up and down, like I'm like up and down in the middle, like I can do it, but not great.
You guys all have, all the basic trained skills. It's just that unless you're especially trained them, you don't get the bonus. I mean, you can try even throw in a master skill at any time. You want to, if you think you're not going to get any bonus for it, but you can try anything you want. So if you want to try some Xeno esotericism, you can certainly delve into that sometime. And we'll just roll it against a normal intelligence roll. So piloting, like you said, is a skill, but that is a basic speed, a speed roll. So anybody can do it, but you guys, pick your path. So,
Okay,
like
I
you
got.
said, you have a barricaded garage exit door, and yeah. So, what do you guys want to do next?
Well, I guess I have the highest speed stats, so I guess I'm driving.
Well, you guys got to first remove, clear all the stuff away from the garage. It's the obvious first move, right? So we'll just move on. Say you did that, and there, you you remember in this room, there was a generator and everything. You guys
We turned it
had
on.
you turned it on and the music came on, right? Exactly. And so you're able to actually activate the garage door opener. And are you guys all loaded in the thing? There's probably, I would think, a garage door opener inside the APC. That would make sense, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. I have like a little
Okay.
button inside.
Uh, Gordon, could you just remind me of why we were going out? There's somebody we're looking for out.
You guys were, you had your basic mission when you initially land was to get the communications of SAMSA 6 base, which is the whole planet, SAMSA 6, back up and operational, to get the terraforming station online again, to find Lieutenant Kaplan, Second Lieutenant Kaplan, I believe his name was. And you did find him with the bullet hole in his head. You're also uh, charged with finding Dr. Edom, or at least his research. And that's always left as his research on what you don't know. And, I'm sorry, not or, and also retrieve the artificial intelligence officer, or again, a minimum, his logic core. And you did find in the lieutenant commander's office um, a personal locator with a tag ID on there um, for Hinton. When you looked at that, you saw that it was blinking in the hills, a good bit north of the Hera terraforming station. And when you actually turned on that locator, it gave a brief appearance, or gave you access to this other map here. And this here is the Heron terraforming station. And north of this, as I said, was the blinking locator for Hinton.
Okay, so we just start going on and drive to that.
So
Yeah.
are you guys all going to load in and open up the garage? What are you going to do? Talk me through it, guys.
Yeah.
So did the journal and the stuff I found, does that count as his research, or was there other research?
Well, I mean, you have what you
Well,
have
I mean, I'm
there.
not. Obviously, you can't. But does that kind of count as some? Do I think that's his research, where he was researching these creatures with the screen thing that was in his
Well,
journal?
Well, I mean, you read a little bit of research. It might be. You as a scientist, you're an academic yourself. What would you think of research notes like that? Do you think that they were in totality, or you know bore much insight into anything? I mean, what
No,
did you learn?
I think he was trying to hide stuff. So I think he's got something somewhere else.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, you did find research. Were they Edom's notes? Or I'm not sure right now. I don't
Yeah, they
remember.
were eating his notes, but
Yeah, yeah. So you did find those in the med lab. So
But
yeah.
they were pretty vague. You said.
It's you had exactly what they said. I can tell you what they said again. Let's see. The notes from Dr. Edom, excited at the discovery of something they call the Krebslieder, or the crab song, a shrill shriek that carcinogens use in order to replicate. He also begrudgingly admitted that the base's android, Hinton, did much of the legwork of this discovery, but it is Edom who truly put two and two together. And you refrain from you've welded that med bay off, and you have refrained from looking at, there were specimen tubes in there, there was lead containers, and there was all kinds of different med pods and bioprinters in there that you essentially left unsearched and welded shut, because the med bay was uh, uh, locked, and the inside area of the examination room was in destruction and disarray.
All right. Yes, I say we ride.
Let's
The
get a
sooner
move
the
on.
better.
All right, so who's driving? Who's gonna, we can get that thing moving.
I'll get my guy to drive
I'll
it.
take the. I'll clear all this stuff out of here. All right. The garage door opens up. Who's driving? You said Corny was driving,
Cornelius was driving.
and who's going to be manning the Max Planck? You want that gun on top? There's a forward-facing um, general purpose machine gun.
Sure. For sure, I'm taking that.
Well, yeah. Well, you're going. Oh, you're just going to take it. It's a big forward-mounted gun.
I'm
You
gonna
said
man
I
it.
have to-
I'm gonna man it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's a two-handed heavy barrel, can be maneuvered to fire around quarters. It says.
And
I don't know
so
how
I'm
you
gonna
do
man
that.
and scout the horizon.
Okay, and then the other two load in the back, I guess. You guys have grabbed. I'll let you that you grab not only the stuff from that you discovered in the barracks, but also the few items that were in the air passage locker system when you first moved in. There was a couple of extra things in there. If you wanted them, you can have them as well. But as you open up the garage door, you see that there appears to be like almost three big piles of dirt. Like, your APC can easily go over it, but it almost looks like there is three big piles of dirt in front of the garage door. Whether you don't know what it looks like, a big pile of mud now because the rain continues to pour down. It's still coming down like it was when you landed on the island. And if I recall correctly, I don't have my book with me, but I believe we were at the 50th hour when we were finishing up. Yeah, 50th hour. And that means we have 50 hours before the drop ship returns. So you see this, and you do see a trail that appears to lead to. You see some lighting in the future, and you do see, there's a uh, a bit of a you see the riverbed that comes down along and passes past the Greta station, and rises on the slowly sloping grade towards the vaguely lit Terra Her, Heron terraforming station. And yeah, so you could certainly take the ride, or if you want to check out these uh these rather large lumps of mud in front of the place, you can do that. Or I'll let you guys take the game if you would.
Cornelius, what are
I
those?
see no reason to get out of this thing and check out any mud.
Yeah, just get a move on. Take us there. Take us there quickly, man.
But
Gotta
maybe
get-
you're muted.
Cornelius, just take us there quick. We don't got time for this dirt piles. Okay?
Let's go. Bop. And just slam that button. Close behind us, driving out to the terraforming station.
Okay, so you guys are driving up along the terraforming station, and Max Planck's on top of the board, and you guys are, windows are open. You're not hermetically sealed in there. As I said, that you're able to breathe this atmosphere, guys. Our teams are still wearing his helmet. You guys have your helmets opened as you were conversing and unable to use comms. And it just looks like a shit show around here. It looks like the sides of uh, of the uh, the trail you're on are like almost torn up, as if like herds of like buffalo been through here. And you're hearing like jungle sounds that sound like no jungle world you've been on, either on your home planet or any other since. Um, but you're certainly hearing those shrieks that some of you may have heard in the in the in the in the garage earlier when you fought the Carson. But you make your way up this grade, and you're able to sort of rise to a summit and then come back down to a sloping river valley, where the river, which you had just traveled up its lower egresses, the river is dammed here and is creating like a large impoundment of water that is used for powering the terraforming station, and obviously the main power for the Greta base below as well. And as you come up on it, you see the towers in the lake. You see in the far distance, it appears there's a large communications tower with a large orbital relay. If you can see where that's blinking, Omega, shrink that down a bit for me. Um, you see that as Max Planck's approaching, but as you're sort of pulling up from the east of this coming down this rise, you see all over crawling around like the front of this sort of driving pad. This is sort of like a tarmac, more or less, for the entrance to the garage that you think is here. And you see these carcinids just crawling around, coming out of the water, crawling over the water, actually crawling along walkways and on the uh, on the cooling towers, and the refrigeration units and heating units that are sort of below the main um, turbines for the reactor. They're just everywhere. And as you pull up, you see this garage door right here. You're seeing all these things. You're just about to start laying into them, hopefully, with this GPMG. Whether or not that works, your SMGs didn't do too well, but this is a bigger gun. Who knows? Uh, but you see this garage door open up, and you see another APC pull out of that. Two APCs, in fact, pull out of that, and they are like layering. Um, 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 the Ride of the Valkyries. I mean, it's coming over these loud phones, headphones, these big loudspeakers on the APCs, and it doesn't look like they're trying to engage these things, but it looks like they're trying to maybe distract them away. And on the top of the first one out, uh, blasting speakers, you see this person, and she appears to be enjoying the power of the gun in her arms, in her possession, the rather large general purpose machine gun. Uh, she's spraying spray after spray of bullets, and as the crew approaches, Corporal Novikov, what do they see and what are you feeling as you're trying to distract these carts from this crew of humans approaching your base?
Um, so I don't know. It's been a little hard for me to figure out geography here. Are they? They've left their existing base and they're now coming to a building that I'm in, or
Yeah,
we're all
you're
in
in.
the same around the same building?
No, they were in a base due south of you called the Greta base. You are in
Right,
the
they're opening
Hearn.
up.
You are in the Hearn terraforming station, which is this
Okay.
the damn picture I'm damn showing you right here. Any damn questions, we'll get on to them. Uh, but yeah, and you were in there
Okay.
with the remaining survivors, and you came out in an APC from the garage door there, and
Are you
was
pointing at something? I don't see anything. I don't see a map. I don't see a door on a map anywhere. If there's nothing to see, that's fine. But I don't see anything looks like that on what's shown in Quest portal.
uh,
Am I missing something?
I was blinking, but let me try and do it again. Hang on. This is where the door opened
Okay.
and the
Well,
garage came out.
that's a door. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Um. And okay. And so I'm in the terraforming station. How long have I been there? What's this? What's the? Well, I guess we'll talk about it when we talk about it. But um.
I'll get you more info. Right now, you knew what your character was and what their that the one you took that was a bit of maybe like I said, enjoyed the position, the power of the gun. You're coming out now, trying to distract the. You're not driving. You're manning the gun, and I was really just trying to get you to describe yourself. Uh, but you're manning a general purpose machine gun on top of an APC, and there's carts everywhere. You're blasting Ride of the Valkyries, trying to distract them from this approaching APC, which you don't really know who they are. You're driving with if you
Yeah.
want a
Who am I
little
with?
more, you're with PFC Pedro's driving for you.
And I'm. We have come out of the terraforming station specifically to carve a path for these people who we could see coming in from another location.
Yeah, you guys have used sounds to try and distract the carts away. They have already discovered, and you would have known that bullets seem to fare poorly against these crab-like creatures. But as I said, Corporal Novikov loves that gun. And despite the music going off and an apparent attention that you're drawing away from the approaching APC, it appears that you are quite trigger happy and firing wildly into the crabs. And I was just asking, what do the approaching cars see is on top of this sticking out, the person sticking out from the APC firing wildly at the
Oh,
crabs?
and one more question for you. What's our ammo situation like? Like,
You're
is
what?
the ammo situation like
Don't worry
is?
about it. Don't worry about it just yet. Yeah,
'Cause
basically,
I think it might be
you
kind of the
you
most interesting thing if Corporal and I just Novikov um, is enjoying shooting at these creatures, even though it doesn't do very much good. Even if she knows that the bullet situation is actually pretty dire, right? Like she can't help herself from doing this, even though she shouldn't necessarily do it. So she's so maybe even like Pedro is like, okay, control shots, and she's like, fuck you, oh, sorry, we're supposed to be rated on this thing.
No,
It's
we're
R,
good. We're
R-rated.
good. Don't worry.
It's
We're rated R.
And don't forget, you have a pulse rifle as well.
and so she's it's like she's just going a little crazy with it. And it has been, it's been tough, right? The last couple days or whatever, seeing things go down the crapper, and so she hasn't been sort of let off the leash much. So when Pedro or whoever was like, okay, we got to get these people in here, they won't make it on their own, and she's like, absolutely, boss. And she loads up, and she's not even necessarily trying too hard to avoid hitting the people who are coming in. Like, they may have to sort of swerve to the side a little bit to avoid getting out of the way of the gun. Now, is she hitting some of these creatures? Sure. Is she distracting them? Sure. But she's not necessarily. She's like, there are Marines who are sort of precise and surgical and dedicated, and she's not one of them. She's like whooping and like.
And then there's Corporal Nabokov.
Exactly.
I gotcha. So, I think our driver, Cornelius, and Max Planck up on top with his own gun and possibly shooting at Kark sees this. But, let me hear Max, what are you doing on top of that vehicle? Are you shooting?
Well,
Are you observing this? Are you communicating to Cornelius?
Well, we're just coming up, and I'm noticing all this. I'm seeing all these. You call them Karks. What do you call them? I call them bugs, right? Bugs. I'm like, Cornelius, look at them all.
Dun, 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 dun.
Cornelius.
Are you typing this in? Because all Cornelius hears some death metal music while he's driving the car a little around going.
There's another Marine over there. Go to her. Drive over there.
Corny's not hearing anything you're saying because he's still got his helmet on, no comms.
Bastard.
You got to use your text pad.
Listen, you're driving, so you see this thing open, you see these things open. You're talking, you're not shooting, Max Planck. That's all good. Cornelius, what do you do with the vehicle? You're in charge here. Your show, buddy.
Since I can't hear him and I got the death metal play some music, I'm gonna use my guide. Keep the distance, see where they're going, see if they can pair up with the vehicle, but keep the distance from the facility.
You're trying to follow the shooting vehicle.
Yeah. Those are supposed to be the survivors, and that's what my guy thinks is best move at the moment. And since nobody's taking a text pad for instructions, I'm just gonna go do what Cornelius thinks is right.
Okay. All right. So there's two APCs. One of them has Corporal Nabokov and PFC Pedro. The other has Sergeant Valdez and PFC Tanaka. And you don't know this yet, but certainly Nabokov knows who's out on this mission with them. And as they drive away from the thing, trying to draw those two patrol cars or APCs, try to draw them away, going upriver and up slope, maybe a little northeast away from it. You guys were coming in like from this downward slope here, if you're following my pings there, and you saw this open up. But as those cars drive off and they head to the northeast, you kind of follow the path that they were on, which is a bit of a river path. There's always that path along the river that both deer and other critters make it easier, and you start following up through them, and just as you say get up to the to make your turn and start following them northwards, a Quark just jumps out and literally runs straight into your APC. Now, if one of you would keep track of your APC health for me, uh, I'm going to tell you what they are.
Put
But,
that in notes or something like that.
huh?
We can put that in notes or something like that.
Yeah, I'll get that for you in a second. Um, but I'm going to roll this out first here. So, what are you guys going to do? Are you going to try and dodge this attack, Cornelius, or are you going to try and maybe uh, maybe run into it more and try and combat it?
Well, the sort of cowards is a fight or flight instinct. Since Cornelius now has about I don't know how heavy we say that APC is, like 500 pounds.
No, 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 no. APC's got a fucking a Yugo is probably like a ton and a half
Okay, a ton and a half force with me,
for a Yugo.
floor it, and just hit that bug and wipe it off the windshield.
Oh, so you're not gonna fight. You're gonna fight. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do like a little like a T-bone sort of motion and just get out.
I was gonna give you an advantage if you took flight, but such is life. So let me pull up some tokens so we can maybe make you guys see this. And Corporal Nabokov, you're the certainly the one in command of that vehicle. So whatever you tell Pedro to do, he will do. Okay. And I will get back to you shortly. And here is that is Corny's APC, and we're going to call this one. This one here is Corporal Nabokov's. Okay, so if you can see those two, and we'll just use those for some shits and giggles. But as you come by that riverbed, this guy comes up and you try to crash into him as he tries to crash into you. And let's see what the result of this is. Why don't you roll me a combat roll, sir? But hang on, I have to figure out. Hang on, I'm sorry. Let me just find out where the
Just speed more speed since I'm using a vehicle.
Hang on, just chill. Let me look at what the book says. Inside the APC. You guys want to talk? You certainly can to help me out here.
Certainly. Well, I can't talk because Cornelius has got his damn helmet on. Jonathan, can you take that damn helmet off?
What's going on out there?
You know what
I
happened
can't
last
see a
time?
damn thing. What's he doing?
We've got
And also,
those
I have
damn.
a text pad that you could text me the message you want to talk to me. You just refuse to use the text pad.
Don't got time for text.
You can text
Needs-
it
Like
You
I got
said
no
you
time
still
for
text me.
fucking text.
Okay, I got it. You got an AP of 6, in that thing. Top speed is 90 miles per hour. I totally blew the crew capacity, but that's okay. And it takes 20 points of damage in addition to the armor of 6. So this thing is going to swipe at you as you try and crash at it. So I'll figure out your combat roll in a second there. But let me throw his. Here it comes.
Jonathan, you ever see something like that before?
With that bug like that?
Yeah,
That looks just like that one that tried to eat us in the garage, doesn't it?
it is. But I mean, before in your life.
Hell no. No. No.
You're pretty quiet about
That-
that research that you found out about.
Yeah. Do you really want to know about it?
Well, I will, but not right now.
Because if you got any of those grenades, chunk one down his throat. That seemed to work last time.
All right, guys. Why don't you throw me, Mr. Cornelius, throw me a combat roll at advantage. I will give you, since you have your own armor, essentially. We'll call it like that. That's how we'll roll this.
And
So roll me that stats save advantage. There you go. And that looks like that's certainly a success. And I'll let you do the damage before I impound the damage from the bug. So the damage this thing does 90 miles per hour. We're gonna let it do the same as he does. Roll me a 40-10.
Okay, yeah.
You can just do that in the purple button. Use the purple button, hit your D10 four times, and then hit roll. There you go. 15.
Oof, that's not that great damage.
No, no. But you see it sort of almost crack, uh, like like the big outer carapace of it seems to crack open, and you know, but instead of blood coming out, it looks like another tentacle, another arm reaches forward and reaches down for you, and that new arm and some of the old arms, they just start to rip the car apart, and they deal 31 points of damage to that uh, car, and essentially just totally disabled it. Uh, Ripped the head open. Literally, Max Planck standing there with a big machine gun pointed at it, and this thing put its arm in through where he's standing out and ripped the top of this open, and there's tires, but and it's just a shit show. You guys are feeling the rain pouring down on you. You're hearing the ride of the Valkyries. Hopefully that guy's turning around. Corporal Nabokov, what are you and your companions doing in the APCs? Do you continue to ride northwards, or do you circle back to try and to help these floundering rescuers? Do you intend to rescue the rescuers? I guess.
Well, all right, is it doing me any good to be driving away? Are any of the Carcinids following me?
Well, it's really swarms of them, and you're able to keep. They're not able to keep up to your speed. So yeah, you did. Yeah, when you initially emerged from the garage, the Carsonids left the area. They left that area and had actually given opportunity for that the rescuers to get into the garage. They chose to follow you instead, and
Yeah, that was
yeah,
very smart.
no, no. I mean,
I
that was
mean,
totally against your plan, but
I'm not a genius, but I would have hoped that they would be smarter than that. Um, sure, I'll come back around. I'll be like, Pedro, turn around.
so he zips around, and you know yourself, you guys have been dealing with these carcinoids for a couple months now. The last survivors have made their way into her and terraforming station. You've more or less barricaded yourselves there. Uh, there was some dwindling hope that Lieutenant Commander Kaplan could somehow get the few remaining people settled or cured down in the Greta base, but you know you don't really know even know who is in there. So it could be the remaining survivors of them. You don't recognize the guy who's on the machine gun. You don't know another thing has landed, but you guys have been under pressure for at least 3 months now from the initial when the initial party occurred for Olson, and you know that at that party, um, that uh, somehow some crazy shriek went through the comm system and started affecting everyone that was at the party. You guys certainly haven't figured out everything that's going on yet, even the old survivors. I'm saying, you Nabokov, uh, but you do know that uh, Dr. Edom has been working with some hydrofluoric acids, trying to find a weakness in these carcinoids. He's also discovered which our new crew has as well, that um, bullets really do no demise to these horrible creatures. Um, that being said, that's maybe why were sure to have that pulse magazine slung about your breastplate, as you were maybe only just having fun with that general purpose machine gun on your ride of the vault to reach distraction to him. So yeah, that's you guys are swinging back around. You see maybe let's go to see here. You see the one Carson that trying to tear up the remains of that cart, and you see like crawling out from the river and maybe coming down from the thing. You see three more Carsonage approaching this now open can of sardines, I guess.
Does Omega? Oh, excuse me. Does Omega get a chance to attack? He is on the gun.
He can certainly do that, but the thing was that gun is destroyed, as well as as the APC. So he has guns on him he can use, but that APC and the gun included is no longer valid.
Yeah, I was like,
he took it out. Omega kind of flew out of the car. Is that I would think? I mean, you guys could.
yeah, I was like,
it was a pretty horrific scene. Yeah.
I was trying to aim the gun, but Cornelius was like driving erratically and he slams into the thing. I didn't have time to fire, so that's what happened in my eyes.
So actually, I think with the destruction of the cart, guys, since I was going to allow maybe our Nabokov to come swing around and maybe be the Deus Ex Machina for you, but considering what you just said, and I think you're right, with the destruction of that APC, all persons in that APC that was recently destroyed, please give me a body save. To see how the destruction of this vehicle and its disgorgement of you upon the the soaking, sogging grounds of the thing. It looks like Cornelius is, behind the wheel and is able to, maybe the airbag there saved them and just popped them out like a pimple through the window. How's the next body save coming up?
I have my seatbelt on.
Yeah, there you go. Seatbelt save lives. Jonathan Anderson. Is that a save, sir?
No, that's a failure. Just barely.
We got to get under, yeah, right? So I failed too.
Yeah. So, well, each just take a stress for that, and roll me a 1d4.
Damn, I'm at 10 stress already.
That's the game.
Or
You guys are going to tell me how you take these points of damage.
4.
Oh, and let me throw the body save for our android. Hang on a second. Oh, that's the wrong button. Hang on. There we go. And that is a, what was I do that against? That was a body save. That is a save. Yeah, so he's okay. So you guys want to tell me how you were damaged in that? When that 1d4, you each took 4 points of damage. It looks like that's not just a broken nose maybe or something.
yeah, I was sitting there talking to Max when that bug stuck his tentacles down through there and it sliced my arm open. Before he tore it apart and threw me out onto the tarmac.
Oh yeah.
How you feeling, Matt? How you feeling there, Max Blank?
That comes off the armor, right? So I don't take any
yeah,
damage.
you guys actually, you if it doesn't exceed your armor absorbs it.
Yeah,
Oh, most.
but we don't take any damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thing just clobbers onto the APC, and I'm shaking like this, and it smashes the gun, and its little leg with the big pincer on it just puts a big dent in my helmet, knocks me to the ground, and I'm gonna try to go into the APC and exit it.
Okay.
I tried to crawl my way out after away from that tentacle and out the back.
Okay. So let's go back to Novikov. This is Corporal Novikov. What do you want to try and do? Your plans for easy entrance into the terraforming station have been diverted by the recruiting standards of the company, obviously.
I believe something was mentioned about that in
Well,
the
we
last
gotta-
game.
Yeah,
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 we're
yeah.
playing the role so well.
We got to get everybody inside, right? I mean, that was the goal. And we've now got how many people from that ruined APC that we need to stuff onto the two other ones that we have now?
There are four people, or yeah, four people.
Four people. But
One a mechanical construct.
uh, and well, in APCs, I thought they only held like two people. Like they're
Yeah,
tiny.
I said they. Yeah, the book says three, but I had said they would hold four.
Like, and how many people are on the APC that I'm on? Like, it's just me and Pedro.
It's just you and Pedro, and then the other has just two people in it as well.
Okay, so in theory, we could take two people, and they could take two people, and we could go back inside. So, if it's possible, you'll have to tell me how possible it is. I would like to basically stop near enough to the now destroyed APC, and say, of course I'm gonna come with me if you want to live.
Right, right. So how about we do it like this? You're gonna communicate as you do with hand signals or whatever with Sergeant Valdez, who's on the gun of the other, and you communicate like we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him. Open up the doors, and we'll get him in there, right? So we're gonna do this one thing. I'm gonna do one roll to see if you can get them loaded against. The way monsters roll in this, they have one stat, um, and I'm gonna have you roll like there's three of them out there now, so it'll be one monster roll against your speed. You're gonna do it with like technique and driving skill, so we'll do it as a speed roll, and I'm gonna give you advantage because you have armored personnel carrier vehicles, and I think that'll be appropriate. So we'll roll one attack to get them in the vehicle, and then one to get back inside without another attack. Okay. So if you would roll me a stat save roll to quickly maneuver the vehicles as close to the destroyed APC as possible. Two APCs, and load up the disparaged crew, and then we'll move from there. So advantage roll, sir, and that's on that general tab sheet.
Okay. And what stat am I rolling for?
You are rolling, I guess, speed.
Speed.
All right. Well, let's
Let me
see.
see I rolled a 41, and I don't think that's gonna. The only one that is over 41 is combat. So
Well, you know what? Why
speed
don't
is a
you?
31.
You know what? I'll let you do this. Why don't you tell me how your driving would be make use of your combat skills, and listen.
Well,
You
I'm
have
not
a
driving, right?
you have military
Pedro's
training.
driving.
You have right. You have military training though. So on that speed roll, I'll allow you. You actually hit that right on the nose, because you can use your military training to coordinate this maneuver.
Yeah.
So you should have called for that.
So he.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
so
big work.
Pedro is pretty used to uh, Novikov backseat driving him, right? Like he's like, I know how to drive. I'm you don't have to tell me how to do this stuff. I'm good. I can do it. But she's always like, no, wait, no, right there. Sorry, stop, there, turn here. And it turns out this time it's actually kind of good advice, because she actually is pretty good at fighting things, better than him. He's newer than she is, and so she actually is able to, be like, all right, no, wait, come in, all right, turn, stop, and then get them at pretty much exactly the right point so that the two people can run to the ABC with the least with the least exposing themselves to the creature that just destroyed it, right? Like it's basically at the right angle for them to flee and have the least chance of those creatures attacking them and stopping them.
Sounds good. You hit the
Because
you hit
she knows the angles.
you hit the garage door opener, and you make your way as quickly as you can, uh, trying to gain entry with your two remaining APCs, and we're gonna give these guys. Oh, and on that, no, you did pass it. Never mind. I'm sorry. Yeah. So these guys are gonna have one last attack as you try and you guys are pulling your way into the garage, and it looks like Pedro getting tired of you yelling. He slams his foot to the pedal to the metal. You guys pull ahead of the other APC, and the second APZ, which you know what, Jancic, Omega, and bonus. Roll me a D4.
Morgan.
Dude,
Bonus 4, and 4, Jancic, Omega 4. So bonus man and I'm sorry, Max Planck and Cornelius are in the second one. The android and John Anderson are in the forward vehicle um, with Corporal Nabokov. And the here is the as the second APC tries to make it into the quickly closing door. Uh, there is an attack, and the carcinid just you hear it as it sort of rakes down the back of the vehicle, and just it almost feels like you feel a hitch in the vehicle as it almost stops, and then the wheels spin, they catch purchase, and they push into the closing door as the door closes, and you guys are safely within the garage of Terra Horror Forming Station with two APCs. Okay.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
You see Cornelius is like typing like shakily on his neck. You see him pick letters. I'm not driving again.
I'm
Too
typing.
stressful.
I'm typing.
I
You
agree.
fucker. You
I agree.
fucker. Shit. Getting us killed.
My God, why didn't you go in the damn garage? The door was open.
It is a little typing it in. Well, I can hear you. Like, are you typing this in?
Yeah, I'm typing it in.
I wrote in a lot of bugs.
My God.
The bugs weren't in the garage. Go in the garage.
Doctor, you think these garage doors gonna hold against those beasts?
Well, guess it's been holding. I mean, they haven't broken through yet. So
And you can see that it appears that there's quite a few people in this garage. You see this woman on top of the other APC. She's in her military garb. Um, she was arming the gun. Um, you see, each of there's three groups of people that seem to be a lot of people ran over towards Valdez and uh, Pedro and Nabokov seem to be sort of lingering around her as well. But you see this gentleman say, "Oh, who are you folks? You've been sent from the company to get us off this rock. We've been trying. We got to get off this rock. This rock has got to go. I'm HM3 Brookman. I'm the platoon medic. You see, and uh, first thing we got to concentrate on is getting off this rock. Now, And he says, "Why don't you gentlemen? Who's in charge with you fellows over there?"
I'm in charge, man. And we're not getting off this rock yet till we complete our mission.
Mission, and you hear this guy speak up. Yes. We're here studying. If you guys would help me, I think we could finish with my research, and we could find a way to maybe to fight these to fight these things. But with this research, if we first get this, then everything will be settled. And then Valdez pipes in over them, and she says, "Hey, Novikov, you settle down over there? I know you just had some fun shooting and driving, but you just take it easy now. You calm? We got extra stim packs if you need them, bud."
Now, what is
She's
wrong?
talking to you.
What is wrong with this terraforming station? What needs to be done to repair it?
Well, see, we had a lot of problems. This rain is it's about to flood this thing. Don't it's been raining for weeks now, and with the power is starting to be compromised, and we sent some troops down to the reactor uh get the reactor prepared for this storm to put it on the down cycle, and and she's kind of very quiet. She's almost stoic, not showing a whole lot of emotion. Um, um, she tells you that the remnants of Siege Squad, which you guys from knowing the chart know that that was Brookman's the medic's former squad. She says that the siege squad with Hinton and Dr. Jensen, they went down to the reactor to prepare it manually for the storm. They turn it down and they ease the flooding gates. They let more of the spillway open as well. And if we don't get that spillway open, it's going to flood. We're going to lose all power here. We're never going to keep those cogs out. But we sent them down there. Hell, it's been almost 4 hours since they left, and they've been missing for hours, and the locators are going dark. My idea is we got to go down there. These fucking crabs are everywhere. We got to go down there. We got to finish preparing the reactor before the power totally shuts off. Because I believe the storm is strong enough to cause a flood, and leave us without power in the event of if these cocks all attack at once, we'll be in trouble. And you see Pedro looking up at Valdez, like totally enamored with her, and he's like, she's been in charge since Sergeant Valdez. She took over when the superior officers went down. She's the highest ranking officer here now, but you know. And then Brookman hollers over, "Don't listen to her. She's just a babe in arms. She's just a tech officer. She's way out of her depth here."
I kind of like type in my officers like, what's like what's the dam? Where's the dam controls? Because there's like look like a little dam by the terraforming station.
I type in, "We're safe here. You could take your helmet off."
And I type in the big no, the middle finger
I go
on
to
the screen.
I go to the scientist there, and I said, "Well, or the mechanic. We got another mechanic that's here to help. He can help get that fusion reactor back running again. Do you have
I
any?"
type in
I'm
my
gonna go
little.
over to the, I'm gonna go over to the scientist and ask if they're Edom.
Yes, I am Dr. Edom. Would you like to come with me to the lab? I have my research is just there.
Yeah, let's go.
I type into my little response. Are any of you infected with that shit?
No one answers him.
They can't hear you.
We're not. We've said if he can't hear us talking, then it's too bad for him.
Well, they
We're
don't
not-
have the same comm system you guys came in on. You guys are a pack of four coming in
Right.
together, and so essentially each of these teams wants to talk to you. sort of get Max Planck and maybe the scientists together. Sergeant Valdez seems to be in charge of. You hear maybe Nabokov or Pedro, one of these guys say, "Yeah, we're the Hog Squad." Pedro says, and you can tell that he's just totally enamored with Valdez. And what she wants to do is to go down and get the remaining Marines that went down the shuttle to Reactor. Hinton's that the android Hinton is down there, and some people, as you're maybe talking to some of them, are expressing different doubts and different opinions. The platoon medic thinks that he was the first Marine that I was the first Marine to break ranks with Sergeant Valdez. The mission is compromised, and he thinks that Valdez is just a tech officer, isn't qualified to handle a leadership role. He wants to take the remaining ATVs across the dam, retake the tower, and then not only calling the dropship, but he says if it's an emergency, they can reroute whatever transport ship brought you boys. We can get them here quicker. And he lets you know that he's got the only key card to the control room tower. He scouted the area. He knows that there's a few quarks on the dam already, but he's worried that if we wait any longer, the dam's going to be overrun and we'll never be able to get to the far side of the dam to the communications array and the orbital relay that's there. You guys may have doubts that your ship won't be here for maybe another 48 hours, but he argues that a transport ship can alter orbit and change the orbit to drop in sooner. Dr. Edom um, wants you to go with him to access his lab records and to maybe if you do some first, the rest of if you can figure out, um, the final research he starts talking about how they appear susceptible to hydrofluoric acid. He explains to you that hydrofluoric acid is a very weak acid, in fact, and that it is used to etch glass. Uh, and that is why maybe you saw it stored in plastic bottles in those specimen labs, Dr. John Anderson. Um, and he said he thinks that uh, with use of hydrofluoric acid as some type of penetrative coating to help penetrate the Kark's exteriors, he thinks that he can maybe formulate something in a few hours to maybe aid in your other endeavors. And Valdez is just going on about not trusting Hinton. Actually, one of Dr. Edom's Sobel's also saying how uh, he thinks all this is Hinton's fault somehow, and Valdez has similar proclivities and is wanting to go rescue her men that they sent to shut down the reactor, turn off the spillway so the reactor doesn't flood.
Max,
So you
you are
guys are feeling
clearly you
you
are
guys are
clearly
feeling
the
pressure.
ranking officer here.
Yeah, since my guy can't talk to him, business as usual, and I go on the full directive, and the first thing is find a control panel to find the status of the facility.
Well,
You're in a garage. There's no control panels here.
Yeah, I know.
I
Like,
gotta say,
like
I guess this is
there's
where
other facilities in the building from the main one compared to the control tower.
well, the logical thing to do is to split up. I say, Cornelius,
Two.
you go with the engineers and you help get this reactor operational again. And Jonathan,
That's what I think.
Jonathan,
What's wrong with the reactor?
Jonathan, I
Hey guys,
say,
we're only gonna or
I
pick two, all right? We're only gonna go two ways. You got
two.
Team Leave, the study group, and Hog Squad. And
Well,
Nabokov is happy to go wherever he wants to. He's seems to be hanging out with the Hog Squad though.
And I'm gonna
But
walk
we're only
over. I'm gonna walk over to Navikov, and I'm gonna salute Corporal. Pleasure to see you.
Hi.
You're welcome sight. I don't know how you've been dealing with all these bugs, but you did a good job.
I mean, we can't really shoot them, so we're mostly just been holed up here, waiting for help.
Well,
But thanks.
well, scientists think they got something going with some acid shit they thinking about. Maybe if they can get it,
Yeah,
we,
yeah.
we could use that as a
I'm
weapon.
I wouldn't bet my life on it myself, but that's it's up to you. I guess I have a southern accent. I'm Russian, but I have a southern accent. Um, Novikov is pretty skeptical that those scientists are going to get us out of this.
Yeah,
And
I'm skeptical of them too. And yeah, have you ever tried fire? You think fire would work on those fucking things?
Funny thing about fire, pretty hard to set things on fire when it's been raining for a month.
Yeah,
months.
unless you got some sort of like fuel, maybe some potassium, something that water
You
ignites
guys
it.
hear you guys hear this alarm starting to go off. And Valdez looks up and sees which lights are flashing, and she says, "That's the spillway. We got to get that spillway open. We got to get that spillway open now. Come on, let's get. We got to weigh in easily. Let's go." And Brooklyn says, "That don't matter. We got to get off this rock."
Cornelius does Teamster shit.
You're not hearing any of this, Cornelius.
I said Cornelius does Teamster shit. He's like looking at the fucked up APC.
Okay.
All right, Max, are you gonna take those guys? I'll go ahead with Dr. Eden and see if we can figure out something.
Guys,
Yeah.
then somebody's gonna have to make a choice here. I mean, I don't want.
I'm guessing that Omega takes a team down with the other Marine with me to go down to the generator while scientist fella
Generator. There's a reactor, boy. There's a nuclear reactor.
Anderson goes to the research. That cool?
So,
Yeah, I mean-
so the alarms just went off just for no reason, and we know it's the reactor. Is that what you're saying?
Gonna spill if we don't. It's gonna flood the reactor, and we're gonna lose power if we don't get down there. That seems like, right now, it seems like the most critical thing, given the conditions. And if you lose power, doors aren't gonna stay open or closed or locked as well. You're not gonna be able to send messages. The reactor, the whole. It floods down there, it could destroy the whole reactor system. So, I mean, you have what you got. You got. There's a. I mean, you want to know who else is here? There's in the team lead. There's a Corporal Ivanovic. Here's injured, real low. The Brookman. There's PFC Tanaka. Is also injured. Appears scared. There's Dr. Kawaguchi. Doesn't seem to like that Dr. Ida much. I guess you guys have noticed. Maybe a little jealous of him, you might be reading. Dr. Edam's crew seems to have Sergeant Yang, but he's all ready to join his hog squad. You're getting a feeling. And then there's the quiet loner, Sobel, who had initial concerns about Hinton. And then there's the Marine Corps, really. You got Valdez, Pedro, and Corporal Novikov, the trigger-happy corporal.
Come on, Omega, you're the leader.
Well, let's get down there. Let's go fix this joint. Everybody, let's move it.
So we're going to move the whole crew over to the just try to go down the reactor.
Oh,
Yeah.
you said we could split in two, right?
You can go to two parties if you want. I mean,
Okay, I recommend the scientists work together to find an attack on these things. Some kind of weapon we could use to just kill these things. I think that's a must. We can't finish our job if we can't kill these things.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with eat him.
Okay.
Okay, so and Nabokov, you going to stay with the Hog Squad and go to the reactor?
Okay. Yeah. Nabokov will go with the. We'll go. He's not. He doesn't care about the science. He'll
Yeah.
go to the reactor.
So Valdez sort of takes control, and she says that she wants to engage the station's upriver pumping station to avoid shutdown. An automatic safety shutdown is imminent due to the excessive flooding, and only a manual intervention can stop it. She says it can only be done at the Hydra reactor. The siege squad, that was their original mission, was to go there. So, she wants to go rescue Dr. Hinton, Dr. Jensen, and the MIA members of the siege squad, which were Lance Corporal Franco, PFC Glockner, Corporal Kadir, and PFC Weaver. She had said that she had sent them on their mission to abseil down the reactor core, and they approached it from at the top of the top of the reactor. She believed that was most likely the best way in. There is another stairwell that she said was previously flooded, and I'm going to show you. The stairwell's more or less down over here in the far corner, but that's been flooded and goes directly into the reactor core. So her idea is to abseil down from the top of the thing. She provides you all, and listen, she pulls out pulse rifles for each of you. You already have one, Nabokov, but she gives one to Max Planck, she gives one to the android, and she gives one to the Teamster Cornelius. She also you guys all have hazard suits already, right? But she puts on this radiation meter that she tells you will emit level 2 and 3 radiation alerts, and also headlamps. And as you guys stand above the chimney tower, and you see the ropes that have been set up by the prior team as they made their descent into the thing. Sergeant Valdez says, "I'll be first. Who's got my 6?" And right away, PFC Pedro says, "You know I always got you. Sarge." And he just like blushes, and she starts dropping down, abseiling. You see him start sailing down. Each of you have a rope on. So, are you ready to do this 60-meter drop?
Is Nabokov is up at the top with with Max Planck and who else?
Max Planck, Cornelius, and JO3 the android.
Okay. So when Pedro sort of throws himself down the ropes to go after Valdez or Vasquez or whatever, Nabokov will make jerk off gestures to everyone, like that guy. Gestures to the rest of the new folks. He's finally got new people to gossip with about how friggin' annoying Pedro is, and so she's pretty happy about that. Do we not have hazmat suits?
You do.
You do. Okay.
You
so
do.
We're wearing hazmat suits when we go down.
Okay.
You guys were wearing hazmat suits from the beginning, and Nabokov, you have one as well.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
She gave you one if you didn't have one already. Valdez had extras. So you guys are willing to abseil down these ropes down into the reactor core. So we're going to as you make your excuse me, as you make your way down. Let me find where I'm at here, folks. As you start to make your way down the cooling tower tunnel, cooling tower, you see, like, you guys have your lights on, you're sort of dangling, you got, your hands on your guns as well, and you got a lot of stuff going on. You got a rope, you got maybe your flashlights attached to your gear now, under one of your straps. I'm not really sure how you're making it down, but on the way down, you see these like large forms that sort of uh, appear attached to the walls, and they, as you sort of make it down here, they sort of start to. You see a little illumination as you're making your way down this tunnel, and these eyes start to open up, and it appears as if these are cocoons, and you hear your radiation meters that Valdez gave you start to chime. Radiation level 2, acute. About halfway down the tower, you see an area that appears on the side of the wall, appears to be like a hatch there. Like a little stairwell and a hatch. And I need you all to roll me a hang on a second. Roll me a panic check.
Now, with my helmet on, do I see most of this, or is it just so it looks like lights to me?
No, you see it all. You got a clear visor on your helmet, buddy.
Shit, I got 10 stress.
You can't hear it yet, so you got a 50-50 chance, it looks like there, brother.
I got 10 on the button, so I got to get over, right? So I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
Or I got to get under.
Wait, did they get under or over?
Under.
Okay, I get another point of stress.
Yep, you don't get a for Faldo. You don't get another point for Faldo, Pat. What's your stress at?
5.
No, you're good. You don't get another point for that. You only get the point for Feld.
Well, I rolled a 12.
Yeah, but your stress is only 5.
Okay, just confirming.
Yeah, you got to roll under.
Yeah.
The panic.
Wait, I rolled over, so what?
Yeah, if you roll over,
You're good.
equal to or over, you're good.
Yeah.
If you roll under your stress level, then you're affected by your stress.
Okay, my make it was.
And Nabokov is good as well.
And I'm like,
roll by Android.
these cocoons. Novikov, do these cocoons hatch those creatures?
And Nabokov really doesn't know that. He's not really the scientific sort, but you would assume that I mean, as you're looking at these things, you see they're somewhat opaque, and you can see like crab-like, spider-like creatures in there, and I think as you're paying closer attention to them, Max Planck, you might be needing to throw me a fear save. And because as you're looking at these things, all of a sudden, you start to see in your head visions like this. Oh, wait, here you go. Visions like this. As you're looking inside these somewhat clear cocoons, you see these crab spider-like things. So how did that turn out, that fear save, sir?
Novikov, right? Oh, that's me? I thought Novikov did it.
You're the one with the arachnophobia, right?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. You got the wrong phobia to the wrong guy, right?
No, you brother. Told me that.
I passed my panic roll, but okay.
Yeah, but now this is a fear save. That was just a panic roll for seeing cocoons. But you were paying very close attention to what was inside them, remember? You asked.
Okay, and do you want me to make a fear save or just?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many times I gotta say, girlfriend?
Okay. I thought you're. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, this is going on. Like you can hear my
35.
guys chilling.
I passed it. So.
Okay, no stress, sir. All right,
So I'm
I'll
looking
let
at
that
these
go
things.
away.
Damn. They look like spiders. Fucking spiders. I hate fucking spiders. And they're everywhere. They're all around us. Ugh. I don't like this place. I think we should just... This place is overrun. This planet's overrun. Why do we gotta be here? Why?
So do you want to try and make your way down, or do you want to try and maybe slide your way over to the hatch door you see at the thing? Because as you're standing there, you're starting to see these cocoons open up and these carts start to like drop, these little baby spider-like things drop out and fall to the bottom as you guys are making noise and talking in there. But like I said, about halfway up down the reactor tunnel, there appears to be a metal hatch as well as a metal landing there. You can maybe try and swing over, or you continue to drop the remaining 30 meters down to the bottom.
How big are these spider-like creatures?
I'd say they're about 18 inches long.
Holy crap. They're like big tarantulas. And I'm like in a semi-panic mode, and I'm going right for that hatch.
Yeah, so
All right.
doing
I'm trying to
that,
find
like,
an escape. Quick escape. I'm trying to swing over there.
How about you, Cornelius?
I see my problem. I'm just doing my job. I'm listening to that little like, I'm like shaking my head, saying a panic. I'm like, first reactor meltdown. Like that's not what's panicking me at the current moment, hilariously enough. And I'm like swinging over, following. I'm thinking he's knowing what he's doing because I'm not hearing nothing. I got death metal here. I can't hear shit. So I'm just like, I drown this out with like loud death metal. It's like my helmet's like a little bit vibrating from this shit.
All right, so you slide all the way down to the bottom. It sounds like.
No. I said I follow him. I see him. Like I see him.
I
Like
got
I'm
lost
looking at him, panic.
Okay. All right. So you try and swing your way over towards the landing as well. How about you, Nabokov? Do you want to follow the other compatriots in their efforts to make it to the landing, or do you want to go down to the bottom?
Is the bottom where we're supposed to be?
Well, that's the way Pedro and Valdez went. You don't see them standing on the landing. They went right to the bottom. The darkness is a little beyond your flashlight's ability to pierce it, so you can't really see them down there. There's no comms going, but her intent was to go to the bottom and enter. She had said enter through a hatch down at the bottom of the reactor.
I mean, if I can still do it, if I'm not sort of incapacitated, I think I would go straight to the bottom then, because that's where we're supposed to go.
Okay. All right, you're going down, and so is the android going to follow, continuing down with you. Both Max Planck and Cornelius, please give me a speed roll to see if you are able to do that maneuver. Let me see some of the things you may have. Military training certainly would, or athletics is probably the more appropriate for Max Planck. And our Teamster has, you're not at 0G. I don't really know if you got it looks like you're going to have to have a straight roll there, Cornelius. Unless you can make one of your train skills work for me.
Say 0G as this is more like I'm free falling at the moment. Well, going down, a bit more little weightlessness, so the familiarity of a zero-G environment only half applies to what I'm doing as of now, as making these maneuvers of swinging my body, controlling the weight, the motions of it as I recenter the center of my weight from one position to the other, pushing myself.
I got you.
Uh,
I got you. I like how
so
you said all that. And I was going to give you the full 10%, but you said you were half. You said so. I will give you a 5% bonus for that zero G.
Fair
Okay,
enough.
you get your 10%. It's all good. What? You did say half though, and I noticed you haven't said panic yet once today, so that's good. Yeah. So each of you guys roll me that speed roll with 10%. How'd you do, Max?
I need 49. No, I failed.
need-
Shit.
Oh,
Okay.
and in Mothership, remember guys, doubles are what?
Oh, doubles are stress, right?
No,
Critical
you gain.
failure.
What is it?
Criticals, yeah. In Mosh, doubles are
Critical
criticals. So
And- but,
it appears that
But a failed's a
Okay.
stress, though, right? So I get a stress too,
you
right?
you get a stress, yeah, and I'm coming at you with the critical here. So as you try to make your way over here, okay, this is so unfair. As you try and make it, as you try and you're swinging, and you're like George of the jungle, and it looks like Cornelius. He landed his feet on there. He grabbed the railing. He's holding on, but as you crouch into him, the two of you both fall to 30 meters.
Oh my
And
god.
roll me a 1d4.
But why do I fall? Like, I succeeded.
Yeah, but he crit failed, so I told you I'm so
We have
evil.
to hurt you off.
Okay, but since I do have my ZOG experience and I've acknowledged the like mishaps in zero G, would I be able to save us and try to misdirect our fall?
I think, listen, a 1d4, yeah, just roll your 1d4 and watch what happens. What's your AP, right, guys?
5.
My-
your
five.
AP is 5, so, right, so what happens?
So that's our damage for? Or
No, you have AP 5, so you guys are not impacted by the fall because your armor was able to absorb it. Right?
Oh, yeah.
That's how it works in this game.
So yeah, so I'm
I feel like you
swinging.
made you roll the 1d6.
Yeah, you're being too nice.
I know. It was bad. I made you both fall, so I figured I'd be kind.
So
Keep going, guys. I gotta grab some water.
I'm swinging my rope back and forth, and I try to. I'm in a panic, semi-panic. I'm trying to grab the latch, and I end up missing my judgment, and I end up grabbing Cornelius's helmet, and I'm trying to climb up the rope to the hatch, but while doing this, we both fall off the rope and we fall the 30 meters down to the ground.
Hilariously enough, after he grabbed my helmet, I literally let go of both hands instinctively because he triggers me. He triggers a little PTSD. I grab my helmet, I lose my grapple, and I fall down with him.
That totally makes sense, too. That fits right in.
So yeah, we just hit the ground,
Sliders rain
and
down upon you.
I think Cornelius is rightly pissed at me now.
Did you take his helmet off him?
No, I was just trying to
I
get
grabbed my
over him.
helmet too, and I kind of fell the moment I grabbed my helmet because it was instinctive. He did it with this critical fail.
Okay, as you guys get to the bottom of the reactor here,
I think Novikov is probably a little amazed. Like, you all had to survive a trip through carcinoids to get here, and yet this is your level of capability. Like, how did you survive the trip?
Are
I
you?
drink water.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. How did we survive this damn trip? See what kind of people the corporation brings us for the job?
Guardian is just laying in the ground, moaning a bit.
As you guys are standing at the bottom of this reactor tunnel, you see the large hatch there. It looks like an industrial airlock door almost. Um, you know, some of these carcinid larvae are continuing to drop from the cocoons above, and some are already on the ground. And they may be about 18 inches small, but they start coming to crawl at your feet. And I think we have uh, you know, they appear somewhat soft, and they don't really have, they almost look like a soft shell crab in comparison to the carcinids, but they don't, they're somewhat nasty looking. They got sharp claws with razor edges, and you know, their mouths are just gape full of like uh spike-like teeth, and they're coming over towards your knees and your ankles, and a couple of them are coming on each of you. And you know, they're not moving very fast. But does anybody want to do anything?
Yeah.
I'm gonna rush for the hatch door and just try and get that shit open just to get GTFO.
All right. You run for the door and you open it up. As soon as you open that door up, you hear the radiation level on your beeper tick up. You look down and you see it says lethal. You guys know that HAZ suits can handle this, but if you get your suit messed up in a lethal radiation situation, you're going to have some serious trouble. So you make your way to the door. Uh, Give me a speed check on that to see if you're able to get past these slithering carts on the ground, though. And each is, if you don't want to fight or shoot, you can all throw me a speed check if you want to,
Yeah.
you know, follow the mighty Python runaway scenario for long livedness.
Yeah, my character's running for sure. He's running. So speed check. Um,
Is that as 100 or? Oh, yay! That's a 4.
I'm sure I get 10% with my athletics, right?
Athletics, yep. Some say you got 10% higher, you can roll.
Failed. Oh,
Max, you're having a hell of a time. How about you? Do you want to, Nabokov, do you want to run or fire? Like I said, these things don't appear as you know, they're newborns. They're, you know, they don't appear as crab-like or as formed or as hard as the others.
I mean, I think she would be he would be worried about firing in the middle of a nuclear reactor. You'd also be worried about potentially being seen as harming the children that might draw the attention of the carcinid adults. So she would probably go to the door. I don't know if she feels like, would she need to run to be safe against these things? Are they actually attacking us at the moment, or
They are all trying to sort of swarm at your ankles and on your knees, and they are making definitive motions toward you as if.
she'll go then.
All right, so everybody give me their speed rolls. I'll roll for our android.
I already
Yeah,
succeeded.
I saw yours. I got yours, babe.
Yippee.
I'm just waiting on stat save roll. That's all you need to throw.
Oh, this is all going on. Having heavy death.
There we go.
It's like flying still in my helmet.
38.
That's it. And you also have military training and athletics, so you really needed a 48. So you did that well.
So that roll was a
Success, sir.
34. And
And you had to get under a 48 or a 41. I'm sorry,
okay.
because I gave you
Yeah,
a 10% kick.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a good.
succeed. Yeah, and I am going to roll a JO3. I think we should most try and do this more calmly, folks.
Don't worry, folks. Rolls aren't going to last. I will be failing right along with you soon enough.
JO3 doesn't appear to make it as he tries to run, and he is attacked. Hang on a second. I have to throw these guys over here. And I'm just gonna roll once for them. Oh, and that is a as they that's a critical failure for those guys. Critical failure, fumble, don't get much worse than a 99, folks. So our android, despite his his stumbly, he's been his wires have been crossed. He's been jury rig repaired, and he's sort of stumbling around trying to. Remember, Joe, he was very dumb. I want to try and be delicate, but as he makes his steps ways, and he's really not outrunning them, but he seems to be stepping on each of them. As they try to attack him, he's like, he tries to move from the one and he steps on the one attacking him. And then he moves to the other and steps on the other one. It's almost like a Jerry Lewis comedy of errors. But he does make it to the door as you guys make your way into the main reactor chamber, the Hydra reactor. It's a, here, I got some maps for you guys. Hang on a second. I finally got some maps I can put you on. Hang on. So you guys get into this, you come into this main chamber, coming in from the bottom door. You're able to maybe enter from, here, let me give you the screen. It pushes on it. So you guys enter from this area here, okay? You make your way into and you see your radiation level ticks again as you enter into this chamber, and now it says lethal. Did it say that? I said that already. I'm sorry. It says lethal. It really appears as if you're in a huge industrial complex. The water seems to be almost near flooding levels, and you see this turbine that's in the it's like the nuclear reactor turbine or something in the middle of the room, and huddled on top of it, Novikov knows that he sees Lance Corporal Franco and PFC Weaver. Weaver is clinging to Franco's. Obviously both of them are terrified and panicky, but Weaver looks in a lot worse shape than Franco. And Franco is standing watch and is looking at you. Both of them panicking, and Franco's holding a general purpose machine gun. And he says, "Stop! Stop! Are you infected?"
Is he looking at me?
Well, you guys are all sort of entering in to the chamber together. He's hollering at all of you.
I look around. I look at me.
All right, and as he says that, I'm going to take a moment to see how our other compatriot is doing. Shit.
We managed to close the door behind us, right?
Sure, yeah, you could close that.
Like, holy shit, man. I say we just abandon this place and nuke it. I don't think we could, we'll never beat all those. Did you see how many they were? There must be thousands of them. But I guess we gotta get the power on for now.
Well, as you say that, you guys, Franco says, "Guys, it was hit and killed the Reactor immediately before. Look over there," and he shows you the over by the chamber, over by the controls or whatever. There's a control panel, say over here somewhere. He says, "Hit and busted up all this shit. There's no way the reactor's gonna shut down in an hour. No way it's open the floodway. It's fucked up.
I kind of look at him as he's panicking. I kind of look at my tools and I shake my tools and I'm like shake my hands. I shrug and I'm like where?
Where what?
No, I like shrug my hands like where in general. As I shake my tools up like I'm knowledgeable in fixing shit.
You know, he points over. You know, he's sitting here. You guys are over here. Here, I'm gonna put him here for the time being. There's two guys here. That didn't work. Hang on. There's two guys in the center of the reactor core. Um, they don't necessarily look like this, but uh, 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 he says Weaver needs help, and this is Franco say, and he says Weaver needs help. He's got paper cuts all over him. He's infected, and he says, you know, we gotta get out. This is going to fuck. Hens, where's hens? Fuck it all.
Do I see a way across?
Yeah, you can swim.
Swim. Is there any other way across? Like that I could see?
You don't see an apparent way to walkway to get across to the center. No.
Would I be like how
It
far
may
away is
be,
that?
maybe because it's been flooded or whatever. There may have been, you know, walkways. Like this walkway over here is just goes down into water. You know, it doesn't go down into a chamber for the center reactor or anything like that. And again, we're going to use the maps as just, you know, theater of mind if possible.
Okay, so would it be, is the center platform closer?
They are on the reactor core here, or in the main reactor in the center, sitting there. You guys are on the western extreme over here that just came out of the store, the Forias. And, you know, Valdez and Pedro as well, so there's 6 of you. And Valdez says, "Where's Kadir?" And Franco says, he's we don't know, he's missing. I don't know where he is. And he says, finally, you see Weaver whispering to Franco. And he says, after he whispered to him, he says, Weaver says he saw Hinton take Dr. Jensen down there, and he's pointing down into the water. Down there. He's saying tunnels down there.
Okay, can I use my rad meter to see if the water's radioactive? Any containment?
You guys are in lethal radiation load right now, but your hazmat suits control it.
Okay, so like
Hang on. Let me go check on my scientist here for a second. So, John Anderson, as you talk with Dr. Edom, and he says he wants to take you to his lab. And let me take us back to the base here. And you guys are going to make your way through some passages he's got from the garage, and take you to where Dr. Edom and Dr. Ziegler have been trying to analyze the DNA sequence. And I'm missing artwork, guys. Oh, fuck. Bear with me a second. Apologies. Yeah, I screwed up my game. Sorry, no maps for you. So we're gonna have to work it here. So he takes you in and he says, you know, we could take the elevator down, and we use my credentials to get into the green room, the clean room, get my portable computer out, and you know, he wants you to do to follow him to the lab.
Okay, I'm
And
following down to the left.
and he says that if you take the elevator down, it should be no problem. Um, as you guys get down to um, the doors and everything are still working. Um, 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 he says to you that uh, you know we've left a lot of research unfinished, um, and he starts to tell you about doxyrubicin. Uh, it's a historical chemotherapy medication that they think they might have some work with. And as you guys enter into the lab, uh, it appears that Doctor Ziegler is working in a very lab similar to the one you saw in Greta Station. I lost my art, guys, but he's behind a glass wall that is um, in a lab much like this. And he's behind a glass wall, and you see him with his back to you working. And as you enter into the room, you see him sort of rise up from his work, turn his back towards you, and he turns around, and you see him covered with paper cuts. He's bleeding out of him. Worst case you've seen yet. And he comes up to the glass, and he says, must, we must help the cave." And guys, that's where we're going to end it tonight.
Oh, alrighty. That went by really quick.
We must help what?
Ah, I'm sorry, I missed art, and there was 3 different choices you could have taken, and you took the one that I
Yeah, Murky's
somehow didn't get transferred over somehow.
Murky's upset.
Why? Because I killed it too soon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Merc. I had a rough week. Been driving forest fire lines all week.
Okay.
Guys, I apologize that I did cut it short. I was having a little issues here myself, and I apologize if I was a little lackluster. So, that being
No,
said,
That's
I
okay. It
hope
was
we'll be
great.
back again next week. 2 weeks.
Oh, that was fun. It's getting really intense. I can't believe all those. There's thousands of those things. Like, I wish I had a flamethrower. I really do. I would like to try that.
If we thought that we were going to wipe them out, I don't think that's an option now.
Well, there could have been a few questions. Maybe I didn't allow for them. Maybe I pushed the action too quickly. And I didn't share. Nabokov doesn't know everything that I know, even though he's at the terraforming station. But you guys could have been a little more inquisitive of the 3. I know there was some pressure to move forward, but they do have some things supplied. You do have pulse rifles now. No one's fired a pulse rifle yet. I think Nabokov was very wise in not firing a lead weapon in the thing, but a pulse weapon may have worked. You never know. Those things, those carts, those what do you call them? The larva carts that were in the tunnel, in the cooling tower. They were, not hardened, and they were essentially easy to kill. Bullets would have taken them out. But I think it was very wise not to shoot in the reactor core. So that was good. And I'm sorry, I know I was a little low energy today, but we'll get there.
You got to work on Stan in camera, dude. I've been looking at half your face all night.
You keep leaning over to one side, Bob.
Yeah, it's well, you know what I could do? I could run. I try to run it from here, the camera on my left, so I can read lips. If I run it from my front screen, because I have this shit here, and if I run it from my front screen, I got like 3 computers here, and then I can never read his lips. So I'll do it. I'll just run it. I'll just run it from. Maybe I'll start trying to use that Google caption you showed me about. That should help. But you run your Aponis, you run your Discord through Google window? That doesn't just open up as an app?
Uh, so yeah, so the captioning service I have requires me to run whatever it is through the Chrome browser. But you can run Chrome. You can run Discord in Chrome. Chrome works
You
in a
can,
browser.
okay. Oh, it does work in the browser,
That way,
okay.
I've actually been finding that the audio is not entirely. It seems to be in sync now. Maybe it is just for me. Like because we're doing meetup for video and Discord for audio, it's hard to keep them close and it's hard to
Timing.
keep them entirely
Yeah.
in sync. It
Yeah.
actually does make it harder for me to understand what everybody's saying, just because I'm trying to look at you as you talk, because I do read
Yeah.
lips a little bit,
Yeah.
and sync it with the audio, and look at the captions. And there are 3 different windows now, and
Yeah.
the audio and the video are not always entirely in sync. And
We
so
might-
it's a little tough to set
Yeah.
up. I mean,
Me and Omega got, we just started, you know, Omega just started streaming this Quest portal, and we got a few things to hammer out. But I was thinking we might be able to run voice and everything right through Quest portal, and that would eliminate that. Everything will be coming right through a Google window then, the same
Yeah.
Google window. So that might help rather than having it coming through different ones.
The reason why I have to use
Google Meets.
Google Meets won't allow me to stream my sound, my sound effects and music. That's why I have to use Discord for sound. To run
Yeah,
Sirenscape
but we
through
can
that.
we can run the voice through. We can run the voice through Quest portal. That would work too, maybe.
Then we got voice in that one, and then you got voice in Discord. It's gonna
No
conflict.
voice in Discord.
Well,
Your sounds.
my sound. That's
yeah.
that's the main reason
Yeah.
is Sirenscape, which
Yeah,
is
sound.
mandatory because you need all that. You need that music. You need the effects. That really helps with the RPG, right? I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the only
figure
reason.
it
Like
all out.
Google Meets won't allow me to put that Sirenscape into that, or else I would just use Google Meets for everything, right? I wouldn't even use Discord, but
Yeah.
it doesn't allow me to do that. It'll-
Discord is good though. You gotta say Discord has some really clean coding. I mean, I don't ever have problems in there for most things.
Yeah.
These guys seem on top of everything. I feel safe in there actually. You know what I mean? Digitally safe. So,
It's
So,
good. It's also like coming in, and I had my concerns about coming into an existing group because it always takes me a while to get up to speed on what everyone else is doing. So it's good for me to be someone who's not necessarily knowing much about the group, right?
yeah.
My character can be as confused as I am about who
Yeah,
you are
yeah.
and what you're doing there.
Yeah, and I was trying to feed you some of the background as the characters told their stories to let you get it that way, kind of let you react automatically. But that's the same thing like when I played in Omega's Walking Dead. They got I don't know 9 episodes that I wasn't in, and I refused to watch it because I figured I was spoiling myself. You know. I mean, I may sound like a dipshit, but oh well, not the first time. We still streaming, brother?
We're still streaming, man. It's the end of the show talk. Yeah.
Yep.
Until I say bye,
Sure.
right? So, anybody got anything to say?
2 weeks for this, right? You coming back with us, Andrew? You ready for another one?
Yeah, I will be coming back, indeed.
Wonderful.
I'm
Thanks
actually
for.
a little surprised my character didn't die this session. Any
I'm
chances?
surprised we're still alive,
Yeah,
honestly.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Mad Bird was too easy. I would have had you guys
I
dead
was-
by now. But, you
I
know.
was a little gentle.
Honestly,
Well-
it was pretty goofy with me crashing the car, and we going inside, then Omega crashing into me, like finishing the circle and then we falling 30 meters.
Bogus, I gotta say, you never make it easy on me, brother. I had you all ready to go in that garage. I'm like, oh, he's turning the other way. All right, well, let's figure out what we're doing now. I do enjoy the challenge.
That was perfect though when Omega went and grabbed at his helmet and he automatically let go and both of them fell.
Well, I kind of grabbed my helmet in response.
Yeah, that's funny.
Just try to pull up my helmet in response and just fall down.
I'd be banging on him with his ammo. Turn the car! Oh, man.
Well, everybody,
The fun thing for me about Mothership is how it's the rules say don't roll if you can possibly help it. You know, don't ever roll because rolling is going to be bad and bad things are going to happen. And
Yeah.
it's just such a funny, way for an RPG to decide to describe things, right? Because every time you say something, you're probably going to die. And, so you get yourself into that mindset of like, okay, trying to take risks. Of course, you got to play, you got to play your characters. But, when you didn't make me roll coming down the rope, I was like, thank God, right? Because if I'd rolled, I probably would have fallen. Right? But you didn't make me roll for it. So, like, okay. And then when you're like, oh, now you have to roll to get past the little baby creatures. I'm like, okay, this could be how I am.
Yeah.
It just wasn't.
Well, I had to talk.
You got to get yourself into it, but it's a fun way to play.
Yeah, I had a talk with a guy I play with in Germany, and I ran him through the first part of Bug Hunt, the Greta base, and I'm saying, well, you guys don't have a key lock for the store. What are you going to do? And nobody said anything. So I was like, well, all right, well, roll that then. I mean, I didn't know what else to do. I was like, all right, well, you're going to try and do that. And you could just, all right, well, roll then. And he gave me grief that I made him roll too much. But if the action's waiting, you might be seeing me roll a d6. Or if I don't know what to do, I'm like, well, let's, just wing it. And, it's not all my fault, right?
Trust me, we'll come up with something to do. You give us a second, we'll come up with something.
Yeah. I just got you see the hardest part for a Northeast Type A personality is you guys not doing what I want you to do. That's all good. I like a challenge.
Independent thinkers, Bob. Just
Yeah,
think
I know. Well, I've been married 30 years. I'm trying to avoid independent thinking. I haven't had a thought for myself in at least that long. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. I told her when we got married, I wanted her to be like Wang Lung from the Good Earth. He picked up his bride and she walked 2 steps behind with her head down. That didn't last, so I don't think she agreed to it. You guys remember Wang Lung?
No, I don't even know what that is.
That's Pearl Buck. Yeah, I remember his father. Spring morning it starts, and he cracks breaks his hand through his papered winter window, and the sun comes in, and he pours. He's going to pick up his wife that day, and he pours he puts a few tea leaves, and when they talk tea leaves, it's just a couple tea leaves. And he put a couple tea leaves in his father's hot water that morning, who's old and decrepit in his bed, and I still remember. I read that book fucking 40 years ago. I still remember him saying, the father complaining that why are you putting this expensive tea in my cup? He says, Father, enjoy life. Today's my marriage day, so marriage is a good thing, I guess. I don't know where that came from, but Wang Lung, that's what it came from.
Oh yeah, from the Good Earth.
The Good Earth, yeah. Wang Lung.
Okay, everybody.
So,
yeah,
we
anybody else?
got Coriolis tomorrow night on Omega's TV. We got Mr. Eponymous is going to be playing that. Mr. Omega is playing as well. Big Mouth won't be there. Jansik's got wife duty, I think. And that's the next show, right, O?
Yep, that's the next show.
First 5 for me.
See, 4 streams in a row. Busy week.
And then come Tuesday, we have Walking Dead.
Oh, Walking Dead's coming, Murky, next week.
Murky's favorite, Walking Dead.
Are they going to kill Negan?
At least a half an episode.
Now I think Omega's going to kill us is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I got some ideas too. I
Okay.
don't believe in murder.
Like I said, you got a haven of saviors in your group now. So lots of shit can happen now. But
Yeah.
have a good night. Thank you so much, Murky. Appreciate it. Yeah, if they
Thanks,
kill.
everyone.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Peaceful.